It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It makes me sick.
She said a lot of things that actually hurt my feelings as a mom.
For years, Jackie and Doug Christie have been the definition of relationship goals. A power couple in the world of basketball and reality TV, always presenting a united front. Every year, like clockwork, they renew their vows, proving their love is as strong as ever. Doug, the retired NBA player, known for his unwavering loyalty, and Jackie, the outspoken, sometimes controversial wife who never shies away from letting people know that their bond is unbreakable. But behind the picture-perfect moments, something doesn't quite add up. Because maintaining an image like this takes more than just love. It takes control. And if you ask their daughter, Chantel Christie, she'll tell you that control is exactly what Jackie mastered over the years. Chantel grew up watching her parents craft their public image. She saw the vow renewals, the media interviews, and the over-the-top displays of devotion. From the outside, it looked like the kind of love story people dream about. But now Chantel is speaking up, and her truth is nothing like the fairy tale we've been sold.
Crack addict, you're not on my level.
I'm a crack addict because I'm small, and you try to get lipo 80 times to look like me. Okay, big ears.
You're right, but you better keep your ass in that C-tramp. That's what you better do. You're right, Dumbo ears. Yeah, I got a lot of husbands about these ears, bitch. Get a husband. That 48-year-old been working, bitch. You
Let
right.
him retire.
For some people, Jackie and Doug's marriage was couple goals. For others, it was a red flag waving in plain sight. Because love is one thing, but what Jackie and Doug had, that looked more like control. Jackie didn't just love Doug, she managed him. Every event, every appearance, every interaction, she was right there. It wasn't enough that Doug was loyal, he had to be visibly loyal at all times. Cameras had to see it, fans had to believe it. That's why he wasn't just her husband, he was her walking proof that their love was different, stronger, untouchable. It's no secret that Jackie had rules, and Doug followed them. No female fans could get too close, no solo outings, and absolutely no situations that could even hint at a scandal. If he went to a game, Jackie was in the stands. If he did an interview, Jackie was in the room. Growing up under these conditions, Shantel had no choice but to play along. But even the best performances have an expiration date. As the daughter of Jackie and Doug, Shantel was expected to be just as polished as their marriage appeared to be. She was always well-mannered, always supportive, always saying the right things. In public, she played the role of the perfect Christie daughter. Behind the scenes, that pressure was suffocating. Jackie's control didn't stop with Doug, it extended to Shantel too. She had to fit into the family image, which meant no room for mistakes, no room for stepping out of line, and for a long time, she did exactly what was expected. But as she got older, she started making moves that didn't align with her mother's vision. Her first signs of rebellion were quiet career choices that didn't run through Jackie first, decisions that showed she wanted to build her own identity instead of just being Jackie and Doug's daughter. The distance between them started growing, little by little. And while it wasn't loud at first, the tension was always there. Jackie and Doug had built a world where everything had to be perfect, but Chantel, she was starting to see that perfection wasn't real, and the moment she stopped playing along, the cracks in the Christie family image became impossible to ignore. And then the internet started to notice, because Chantel started talking, even if it was just in pieces. It started with a cryptic Instagram caption here, a liked tweet there, nothing explosive, but enough to make people wonder, was Chantel trying to say something without actually saying it? Fans who had followed the Christie family for years started piecing things together, noticing that her posts seemed to hint at deeper struggles. She shared messages about outgrowing toxic environments, about choosing herself, about setting boundaries. At first, it seemed like typical self-growth talk, the kind of thing anyone could relate to, but then some of her posts started to feel a little too specific. There were moments where she'd share things about controlling parents, about feeling unheard, about having to break free from expectations placed on her since childhood. And the biggest clue? She was no longer posting about her family the way she used to.
I knew that Jackie and her daughter's relationship was strained. I didn't know to the extent or the degree.
Like the damage that she did to me and my sister's relationship, she won't even take accountability for. At this point, it's just like a fake, I have to keep talking to you so you won't go talk about me on Twitter and talk about me on Facebook and
So you
tell
think
your side of the story.
genuinely she doesn't care?
Why else would you speak about your daughter like this?
For years, Shantel had been part of the Christie brand, public appearances, sweet birthday posts for her parents, supportive messages. She played the role well. But now, the mentions of her family started to disappear. No more heartfelt Mother's Day messages for Jackie, no more family first posts, and when she did talk about family, the tone was different. Fans caught on quickly. Some thought she was shading her mom. Others believed she was dropping hints about something bigger. Either way, it was clear something wasn't right. And then it all made sense. Then the moment we didn't see coming. Chantel decided to tell her truth and fans were not ready. She sat down for an interview and for the first time, she really spoke out. She described what it was like growing up under Jackie's control, how every move she made had to align with the family's image, how she wasn't just expected to love her parents, but to show that love in a way that benefited their brand. And if she ever stepped outside of that, the consequences were immediate. For years, she had to suppress her own feelings to protect the Christie name, but now she wasn't protecting it anymore. One of the most heartbreaking revelations, her relationship with Doug had also suffered. Shantel admitted that while Doug was a loving father, his loyalty to Jackie often left little room for him to truly support her. He went along with Jackie's rules even when they didn't make sense, and that left Shantel feeling isolated, like she had no real ally in her own family. Fans who had once admired Jackie and Doug's marriage now started seeing it differently. Support poured in for Shantel, with people calling her brave for speaking out. Others called out Jackie, accusing her of being manipulative and controlling, not just with Doug, but with her own daughter. The cracks in the Christie family's perfect image were no longer just rumors. Shantel had spoken, and now there was no going back.
So you know eventually your mom will find out that you and I have talked.
Yeah, and all hell is gonna break loose.
Are you ready?
How much worse can it get?
So
For years, Doug had been the silent backbone of the Christie family brand. He let Jackie take the lead, never challenged her rules in public, and kept his private life away from controversy. But when Chantel's revelations started making headlines, that calm exterior cracked. At first, his reaction seemed measured. He released a brief statement dismissing the claims as misunderstandings and family matters that should stay private, but behind the scenes, sources claim he was furious. He wasn't just mad, he felt betrayed. For Doug, loyalty had always been the foundation of his marriage and family. He had dedicated his life to maintaining the image he and Jackie built, standing by her through every public moment. And now his own daughter was the one threatening to tear it all down. But was this really just about loyalty, or was there something deeper? Because when Doug finally spoke out in an unfiltered moment, he let something slip. During a live stream, responding to a fan's comment about Shantel, Doug's frustration boiled over. He said, "People don't understand the sacrifices you make for your family, the things you give up to keep things together." That one line sparked chaos online. What exactly had Doug sacrificed? Had he been playing along with Jackie's rules at his own expense? Was there a hidden side to their marriage that he never had the freedom to reveal? Fans immediately dissected his words, with many speculating that Doug had been under Jackie's control just as much as Shantel had. Some pointed out that his entire career post-NBA had revolved around maintaining the perfect husband image Jackie wanted. But was this Doug's way of admitting he wasn't as happy as he always seemed? Or was it just frustration talking? Either way, one thing was clear: the Christie family drama had reached a point of no return. With this bombshell out in the open, the real question is, what now? Shantel has already exposed major cracks in the family's perfect image, but will she stop here, or is this just the beginning? Some sources suggest she's not done talking. With so much support pouring in from fans, she might feel emboldened to share more about her upbringing, her strained relationship with Doug, and just how deep Jackie's control really went. And speaking of Jackie, how is she going to handle this? Jackie Christie has spent years carefully crafting her public persona. She thrives on being in control, on shaping the narrative. So now that her daughter has publicly challenged her, will she try to fight back? Will she dismiss Chantel's claims as lies? Or will she attempt to reclaim the story by framing herself as the misunderstood victim? And then there's Doug. His reaction so far has been unexpected, but if there's more he's been holding in, will he finally break his silence?
I just think Chantel felt like she was in a room with padded walls and needed to release, because nobody was hearing her.
If one secret could shake the Christie family's foundation, imagine what else is lurking beneath the surface. Because let's be real, where there's smoke, there's usually fire. Chantel's revelations have already cracked the perfect family image, but this might just be the beginning. Jackie has spent years controlling the narrative, but now she's facing something she can't just brush off. Will she respond? Will Doug finally speak his truth? And will Chantel drop even more bombshells? We're watching closely, and you don't want to miss what happens next. So make sure to like, share, and subscribe for all the latest updates.